Hey folks, welcome to another edition of Mythborn, all things Mythborn, 24/7, 365. So a couple things first, housekeeping wise as usual. I will be at BlurredCon July 27th to July 29th at the Crystal City Hyatt Regency in Crystal City, and that is right near National Airport. So if you guys are in the Washington, D.C. area, and it's actually called the Ronald Reagan Airport, if you are near there in Crystal City, the Hyatt Regency, July 27th to the 29th. Super excited. Can't wait to meet more fans. The last few Comic-Con style events have been amazing for Mythborn. We've been flying through books. Speaking of which, book 2, it's out. I have it in my hands. It's pretty nice. I'm pretty excited about it. It has a nice back. It's got all the pages in order. It's really nice. So they did a good job. I'm really excited. The artwork is incredible as usual. I don't know how my camera decides what to focus on, but I'm pretty sure it's not doing the right thing right now. So anyways, enjoy it. Go pick it up if you haven't already. It's a good read, and I believe book 3 is coming out in 2 weeks. So if you are moving along, I'm moving along with you. Releasing books as fast as possible and trying to stay on track and on time. Let's see. Today, we were going to talk about the fighting style of the Seekers of Dawnlight, which is the Dawnlight elite force. And Dawnlight is a mountain. It's hard to see here in this glare on my screen, but there's a circular desert area here, believe it or not. And in this area right here is Dawnlight Mountain, and then it goes up into these icy areas above the pass. They have the Forever Pass, the Summer Pass, and the Spring Pass that lead to a city called Respite. And from Respite, you have Ice Claw Bay, Never There Bay, and the Crystal Mountains up here. Again, I'm sorry for the glare on the screen. Next time we'll try and figure out exactly how to do this post so that you guys can see the map too. But in the meantime, the fighting style of Dawnlight. So whenever I design fighting styles for writing, because of my background in the martial arts, because I'm a ranked master and I have trained hundreds of students, I always try and find the thing that is going to make them successful. What might work for one person may not work for another. If your body type is one type of person and you favor something, my job as an instructor is to teach you how to defend yourself using the things that you have that are your advantages. The fact is that just because you're smaller doesn't mean you're at a disadvantage. Just because you're bigger and stronger doesn't mean you have an advantage, but it doesn't also mean the opposite of that. The fact is that strong people do have an advantage in certain things, and small people do have an advantage in certain things. And my job as an instructor is to identify what you are going to do, what you're going to do well, and then teach it to you in a way that becomes an instinct reaction rather than a thinking reaction. Instinctual reaction, think of the difference between breathing or typing. If you're a typist, you don't think about how to type your brain says the, and your fingers do the 3 letters that make the without you thinking through T-H-E and where they are on the keyboard. No one can type 70 words a minute, or even 50 words a minute or better if they haven't at some level become an instinctual typer. The thing is, we learn very quickly through pain. That's just a fact, right? You touch a hot stove once, and you will get a very quick instinctual pullback that circumvents your normal nervous system, and it goes through a different kind of nerve fiber that's even faster firing, and it will jerk your hand back from the pain. Well, that's all the martial arts is. The martial arts is trying to transfer something that you have to think about into something that becomes instinct. And the way we do it is repetition, training, and usually quite a bit of agony and pain, because you're just always uncomfortable and you're always not liking it until you do it right. And eventually it starts feeling right, and then you start liking doing it the right way. So why do I say all that? Well, it's the same analogy in trying to find what's good about you, your body style, your thinking, your technique, the way you interact with the world. I want to bring that natural instinct you have to the forefront when it comes to fighting. Well, it's the same thing in my world. In my world, the land behind me, it is like a human body, and each of the areas and regions have their own particular things that they are known for, or they have to deal with, whether it's climate, whether it's terrain, whatever it is. So it would be silly of me to make the Seekers of Dawnlight, which are in a cold weather area. I'm not saying it's snowing there all the time, but it's not sunny all the time. It's not. I'm sorry. It's not balmy all the time. They are rangers. The Seekers are essentially rangers of the north. So they're going to head to colder climates. They're going to be wearing heavier gear. They're going to be wearing more padding. They probably have more encumbrances upon them, supplies. Their weapons have to be good for using in ice, so picks with axes on the other side, short staves with stabbing areas. You know, you might see the occasional sword, but in general, a blade, if you're going to go out into the wilderness that's cold, you really want the weapons you're carrying to also double up as utility tools. So one of the style that I came up with for the Seekers was something that is really sort of focused on the utilitarian nature of their gear and their necessity to survive. So they are fighters who understand that they have a little bit of leeway because of all the padding and extra stuff they're wearing. They have to move in quickly and they have to use distance carefully. They're very good on loose rock and they're very good on loose terrain because they're constantly on footing and terrain and gravel that might be sliding underneath them. They might be hitting rocks that they didn't expect. There might be an icy patch. They have to be able to stay on their feet and they have to be able to stay nimble in what they're doing. And you know, if you look at sort of how fighting styles have adapted themselves to here in the United States, or I'm sorry, in the world here, when you get into cold weather training, there's a lot of emphasis and time placed on energy management, on making sure that you know, when you're going to go in and you're going to interact with someone at that level, you need to use the advantages of grappling, of keeping your body mass and body weight low, and being able to go in with a shorter potentially weapon or with a curved weapon, something that might be an axe or a pick, and know how to use it to hook another weapon out of the way, know how to riposte very quickly, know how to counter very quickly, and know how to use both the haft and the actual head appropriately. So the Seekers are really good at that. Think of them in my usual analogies of, you know, if the Galadine army and the Bear Corps were the army, and if Tyr were the Marines, you know, I sort of think of the I guess we don't have an equivalent, but I guess they'd be cold weather army to some extent. They are, you know, good at long distance things. They have high endurance. They move, you know, at a steady pace. They're the type of folks, hardy, they can run all day and then get to a fight and fight. They are, you know, the kind of warriors that conserve their energy in a way that makes a lot of sense for them. And, you know, they're good at using their land and the terrain to their advantage. The Dawnlight Seekers have a wide area to patrol. If you look at the map, and I know, again, it's hard to see here, but the northern border for them, all the way up to Revenge, a city just centerline north from where they are, it's well patrolled, but above that, it's sort of an unknown land. It's covered in ice. The world of Eden, as I've designed it, it doesn't have a whole lot of people in it. A lot less than you would think should be there. And that's part of the story and part of the reveal as we go through the various things about the world. But imagine this world only has a few million people in it. It's not got hundreds of millions. It's relatively sparse. People are concentrated into certain areas, and they running into travelers just place to place. It's you know, it's less common. So these frontier towns are truly frontier towns. They are your, you know, Wild West kind of towns where they spring up, they manage the travelers that are going through, and they protect their borders, they protect the pathways and the highways to their city, to their camp, and then, you know, onward. So the Seekers spend a lot of time on those patrol paths, and it's important that they know how to do that, know how to like actually patrol those paths well, live off the land, maintain their alertness, and then use the weapons they want. So the Dawnlight Seekers are a hardy group of ranger types. They seek far and wide, and they are formidable in that they are both good at the endurance of what they need to do and at the camouflage of where they are. They understand the land, they understand the terrain, sure on their feet, and their style comes in hard with short weapons, usually curved, things that you'd see doubling up as utility items. And they are not a force to be trifled with, certainly holding as dangerous an area as they do. Well, that's it for Dawnlight. I'm super excited to be at BlurredCon. I can't wait to see you guys there. We are also prepping up for Book 3's launch. Oh, I have something to show you guys. Again, I gotta get the screen working right, but wait, where'd it go? There we go. I will move this over and I will show you guys. There it is. Yay. That, guys, is the mock-up of the cover for Book 3. I'm super excited. It's going to be a wraparound cover, as you can see. It's going to have some really fabulous, artwork in it. Let's see if I can get this to look right. So it's a wraparound cover. This is the Phoenix that is on top of Avalon. For those of you who have been reading the book, you know that the Archmage Valerius Galadin is not, no, as a spoiler. Well, let's just say that there's a city founded by him in Arcadia, and at the top of the city is that Phoenix as a wooden statue, and below it is a floating city that's a ball of wood that's got interlocking branches and leaves, and is populated by thousands of elves. And his forces are these elven forces, and they are immune to possession by the Eris. They are crafted to kill Eris. And the Eris are the demons that are led by Lilith. And I hesitate to call them demons anymore. As you read through the story, you start to recognize they are the embodiment of the way in the purest form. They exist mainly because they come into being due to the dreams and the faith and the hopes of the people of Eden. And when they do so, they come into being, and as more people believe in them and have more faith in them, they grow in their power as gods or as demons or as whatever. And that might sound like a pretty cool situation, except for, when they come home, they have sentience, they have feelings, they have families, they have groups that they sit with. And to see one of their members, or to see a son or daughter fade because they faded from the awareness of Eden and became sort of a god that was out of favor. Again, I think I asked him one of my earlier questions. What did the ancient Greek gods do when the Roman gods came and supplanted them? I know they're the same gods. When you look at Jupiter and Zeus, and you know they're the same. But imagine if as one became more popular, the one that was there becomes to transform into that new version, and he's not the same person he was before. He's a new version of that person, the one that most people believe in. Or imagine if you go out of favor and you're a god or a demon that just no longer has relevance, and you're cast aside to some extent, right? Tiamat, right? Other ancient Sumerian gods, Babylonian gods, just transferred out of the way, until nothing was left of them. So if you saw that one Star Trek episode where Apollo, he's the last of the gods to wait for the humans to come, and the rest of his brethren have faded into the wind, something like that, right? I mean, these gods lose their lives on the whim of and the fickleness of the people of Eden, and they're sick of it. And so this war is really a war about Lilith trying to give her people freedom, and Valerius Galadine trying to stop her because he believes that the Eris are demons, and they're trying to seek their freedom through possession of the people of Eden, not through something else. So this cover shows a scene of Arcadia, which is the realm of the Eris, and it's made up of floating cities. It's very early still. We're still about 60–70% done. It's been laid out correctly. Coloring is about right, but now we're going to get all the little details and stuff that make it just pop and look amazing. So I'm really excited to share that with you guys. Book 3 will be out July 18th or 19th. I'll be putting it in, submitting it July 16th to Amazon, and they say that it goes live, once approved, it goes live within 72 hours. So there's that once approved part is the one that's always tripped me up. Typically they approve my stuff pretty fast, but I'm hoping that by, let's see, the weekend of July 21st. So I'm hoping between the 18th and the 20th, there'll be a book 3 out, and you'll be able to pick it up and spend your weekend reading it while I work hard on book 4. So I'm really excited, guys. I hope I see you at BlurredCon. I hope I see you at one of these other conventions. I'm really excited about how well Mythborn's been doing. I'm really thankful to you fans to help me make it that way. And keep coming to the website, keep coming to our conventions. Please subscribe to us at mythbornmedia.com, www.mythbornmedia.com. Please go to Facebook and give us a like. And then I'm going to be launching my Patreon page soon. And for those of you who want to be part of more blogs like this, where I talk through specific combat techniques, I talk through the magic system, I talk through how to write or how I write, techniques, tips and techniques for putting together a story correctly, how I go about checking facts, what do I do when I write myself into a corner, how do I keep myself motivated. There are a lot of cool things to talk about, 5–10 minutes each, but a lot of content that I hope to share with you. So keep your eyes open for that. It'll be out soon. We'll give you more announcements as we get closer. In the meantime, stay true, be happy, and enjoy all things Mythborn 24/7, 365. Talk to you guys soon. And we're out.